learn to accept failure and just make sure you get back from it. Because if you learn how to accept failure, you would have that sense of gratefulness when you achieve something.
Hey everyone, welcome to Chats About Success. It's a podcast to know how Filipinos can succeed in today's world. I'm Daniel Lantin, and today's episode is brought to you by the Entitled Podcast Network. If you're interested in starting your own podcast, or if you want someone to manage your podcast promotions or edit your podcast episodes, the Entitled Podcast Network has got you covered. Full disclosure, this is my own company, so if you want to start a podcast or you want someone to manage your podcast for you, send an email to entitledgroupofficial@gmail.com. And today, we have one of my best friends on the show, Andrew Bagamasbad. Drew, what's happening?
Hey man, thanks for having me here, Davi. Or Daniel, or what people now call you.
So people call me Davy. It's fine. It's all good.
But yeah, no. Thanks for having me here, and pretty much it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Your platform, man. Right.
Dude, I've known
Um,
Drew since I was 2009. Been a
2009. Yeah,
11
11
years.
years.
Dude, it's so fast, man. It's so fast.
12 years. 12 years in
12.
the making. In the next
That's
3 months or so, I think.
crazy. And it's
I
also
think.
fast. So
Yeah.
Drew, just to get right into it, like tell everyone who you are and what you currently do.
Yeah. Oh well. My name is Andrew. Again, one of the best mates of Davi, and yeah, currently 3 years ago I moved here in Melbourne, here in Australia, and currently just been working as a building officer or a building attendant per se for a building management company here, mainly for residential apartments. So, what does a person like me do every day? I'm mainly there to just relieve the building manager of the site. It's more on concierge work, I would say, coming into the industry from the hospitality industry. But then beyond that, I do other technical works as well, such as supervised move-ins and outs. Every day we conduct the sites for inspections, just for the overall maintenance of the building, and many more. Unfortunately, I can't disclose that in here, but yeah.
Dude, that's so far from like, because you initially took up hospitality management also, right?
Yeah,
And like,
it's
that's
go
kind of far from what I think it's just a norm with us. Like, if you study hospitality management, you'll probably end up not in hospitality. But like, what other jobs have you done in the past, like in the U.S., Philippines?
well, that's the thing. I would say I'm just gonna give a shout out to our uni back in the Philippines. I would just say thank you because actually our degree is actually pretty, what do you call that,
It's pretty broad.
adaptable to other industry as well.
Yeah.
That's what I actually just realized last year. Silver linings of 2020. We'll talk about that later. But what other jobs I've done in the past would be I started off my career as a bellman in during my externship in the States. And then after that, I moved into a different department in the front desk as a front desk officer for the St. Regis in Aspen. Craziest time of my life, or I think for everyone's life during that year. And then moved into F&B after that. Unfortunately, when I moved here in Australia, um, I started working on events, and then 2020 happened, unfortunately. But yeah. So
That's crazy, dude. Like, but why did you decide to go to Australia in the first place? I have a pretty rough idea, but I just wanna know
yeah,
exactly.
well, so 2016, after coming home from the States, I did a little break in the Philippines. So I was thinking of like, what am I gonna do? So what I did was I made a self check on myself, like, what can I do here in the Philippines with this career? And then along on that span of years, I actually applied for a in the flight industry. However, as you can, as everyone knows, that didn't actually work out.
Mm.
But yeah, during that time of span, I actually did a little bit of side stuff and the stuff of like blogging and stuff, writing, mainly on fitness. And then I actually did try to start a chicken slider side gig.
I know
I did all the business plan and everything. My mom, thanks for my mom. My mom bought me stuff for it, and then I just didn't work out. In the end of the year, they were shocked. I just told them, "Mom, I'm moving to Australia." The main thing was because I don't know. I just didn't felt like I was meant to be in the Philippines.
that. Mm.
That was one thing. I don't know. I just followed my heart, and at the same time, I was like, I want to travel somewhere. And so since my sister was based here, I asked my sister like, "How's Melbourne?" And then she
Yeah.
said like, "Oh, it's like 10 times better." I was like, "Okay." So yeah, it's pretty shallow on how people
Mm.
whenever I get the same question, people think that's pretty shallow. You just pack your bags and you move. And I'm like, it goes a bit deeper. I don't know. For some reason, I just felt like there was a calling, and for some reason, I just feel like I was meant to be here until today. So yeah.
How did that conversation go though? Because we kind of have the same thing. Mine's pretty shallow too. It's just like
Mm.
I went to Canada because my girlfriend's going here, and that's it. But it goes deeper, right? But how'd that conversation
Yeah,
go with your parents? Like, I'm leaving the Philippines. I'm going to Australia.
I think they were pretty supportive about it. Because during that time I was just sitting at home in the Philippines, and they were just, "Hey, that's good. At least you're trying to do something with your life." So I was like, okay. And then I showed them, so this is what I'll be needing, help from you guys. And then they were like,
Give me the
at first,
cash.
yeah, and they were like, but luckily, fortunately, yeah, but my parents supported me, and then they were like, okay, just give us this time frame. We'll try to help you out with whatever you need. Tell us the steps of the process. And then I was like, okay, here you go. So I did most of the research myself, and then found myself a an agent. Not really an agent, because they were partnered with the uni that I went in here. So they're pretty much offshore Australia, um, like representative of the school, trying to bring in. So I didn't have to pay anything, which was I was like, that's cool. I was like, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. How long have you been there?
So I moved here 2018, Feb. So almost 3 years now. Almost 3 years
Going
now,
by
and
fast, man.
it
You went
went
there.
really fast.
You went there to study, right? You went there to study.
Yes, I went here to study. So that's the thing. I wanted to start my side gig in the Philippines. And then I had a sort of like an epiphany of like I don't know how to cook. Like I don't know the proper standards of like cooking. Even though in our country there's no proper standards that you really have to follow. But then I was more of like that square kind of guy of like I want to be in the top. I
Mm.
want to be in the top, and how do I do that while at the same time traveling and experiencing new things that I'm passionate about? So went here to Australia, checked on the curriculums, and I was like, oh, this place is like somehow a mecca of, especially Melbourne is somehow like a mecca of the food industry, since the multi like cultural it's a multicultural city here in Australia, and there's a lot of like ins and out when it comes to different type of cuisines. So yeah, chose Australia.
Yeah, you took up culinary.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Took
awesome.
up culinary. I thought I was being a badass because during that time I was watching mainly Gordon Ramsay shows. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be that guy. And then I went to watch John Favreau's chef
Chef,
movie.
my favorite.
Yep, my favorite. And I was like, oh man, like the life. That was the life. Like you work in, create good food, make good looking food, and then be in the papers and everything.
Yeah.
And then when I moved here, started it, I was like, nope, that's not gonna happen. It's hard to achieve that actually.
It's just reality hits you on the face, real. But
Yeah,
like,
that's when.
it's just sometimes you think you want something, and I talked about this before. When you think you're passionate about something, that we actually do it, and you're like,
Mm,
no, this is not for
nah,
me. They just,
yeah.
but like, what's the difference though? Like, how's the experience of like, because when you were studying, you were working part time as well, right?
Yes, yeah. So
How was
when I
that
got
experience?
here, I would say that was that year, actually the 2 years that I was just working and studying. Those 2 years, I think, would be the most crucial thing in my life. Like it was more of like a make it or break it
Mm.
kind of deal. Because during that time, I was studying culinary, and at the same time, I had a great opportunity to work. At first, I started working as in part of the events team for a hotel brand here in Melbourne, and
Okay, dude, you
a
cut off.
longtime manager, Daniel. His name is Daniel as well. And then
Wait, you cut off like 10 seconds. What did you say? So you were working
oh
with
yes, so I was working for a hotel brand,
yeah.
and then as part of their events team, and then for some reason it was far fetched of the the thing that I was studying, which is culinary, which is mainly in the kitchen. But at the same time, I was still working with the chefs and everything when it comes to the food allergies and stuff. But yeah, it was really crucial. The thing that's crucial about it was I sort of had another epiphany of like wait, like why is the hospitality side calling me back?
Mm.
So I was like so what I did was I took all the information or the knowledge of like the back operation business side of the my course, and then I applied it on my current job, and it got me to another job again to with a catering business, was more on the large scale event side. And I was like, wow, this is it was really helpful. So I used that, and then it upskilled me to be more on the supervisory side of the position.
Sheesh. You were a supervisor while you were studying?
I can't really disclose that. I
Okay,
would just
sorry
say
about
a
that.
team
Yeah,
leader. I would just say as a team leader, but
yeah.
yeah, let's just say a team leader
Yeah.
for that. But
Sheesh.
yeah, working and studying, it was crazy because I felt like I think I felt the rush of working late nights, and then most of the time my classes started at 8 o'clock in the morning until in the afternoon. So what I normally did was wake up, go to school, study, pretty much try to perk myself up, and then run all the way to work after school. And it was just the same thing for like a couple of like months for I think it was for around 3 months I was just doing the same exact thing, and the rush was just crazy. I kind of like lost myself in the midst of it, but then
Yeah.
I sort of like picked myself back up, and I was like, I got to do better than this.
Yeah.
So
How many
yeah,
hours of sleep did you get while you were doing that?
I was I was trying to reach at least 6 hours, but I was mainly doing just 4 to 5 hours, and I was like
Damn, dude.
crazy.
What
And then
crazy. What what did you learn from that though? Like, cause back in the Philippines, it's usually just okay, we go to school and then everything's taken care of, right? What did you learn
true.
from the whole experience of okay, I actually have to work now while studying, while doing my homework, while getting like 4 hours of sleep?
I think the skill that I actually learned from it was I would say is I don't know. The first thing I would say is I think our country's education system, like we should promote uni students to start working while they're studying,
I agree. 1,000,000%.
because it gives, not just it helps them out on their studies, but at the same time it like produces this type of character in them. Like for me,
Yes.
that's what I honed here in Australia while studying and working, was that skill of like, first and foremost, like time management was there, and then second, having that maturity, like matured perspective on things, of like prioritizing things, like not just like back in the day, back in uni, we just be like after uni, we just oh, you guys want to go for drinks, or like what are you guys doing after
Yeah,
this? No,
yeah,
I'm just heading home, go on dates and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, when you're working, when you're studying, you have your head straight, kind of thing. So it kind of shocks other people, because I have a few friends here who's actually younger than me, and yeah, they did the same thing. Went to school, straight to work, do the same thing all over again. And when I spoke to them, and their maturity level was just like, wow, I was like, you guys talk like you guys are like my age. And during your age, like literally, I was just like, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna play video games after uni.
yeah.
And those guys, they have that character build up already. And I kept telling them like, man, you guys are gonna make it big. Like you guys are gonna make it big.
Yeah,
So
dude.
yeah,
Like it's just different, right? Because even here in Toronto, I know people who've been working since they were like 13 years old. And by the time when they're like 20, they're already like vice presidents of marketing, which I don't understand like
yeah,
why that is, but it's just like the earlier you work and the earlier you actually learn from your experiences, just the younger you'll get to what you
yeah,
want in life, man. That's
yeah.
crazy.
And you get to climb the ranks up earlier as well, I would
Facts.
say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, so since you're there, like, what do most people have to know about, studying or living in another country like Australia compared to the Philippines?
I would say is it's a whole different scenario. I would say, because back at home in the Philippines, we have like, like in the work environment, we have a like I worked back in the Philippines for a few years as well, in a coffee place as a barista, and the work culture is just different. It's they try to implement professionalism, like corporate culture of like seniority. That's the thing I hated back in the Philippines, like seniority, um, even in the most lowest level, which is just it doesn't help out for the company, I would say, or like let's just say in the branch. But yeah, what I would say people know about studying or living in another countries, it's a whole lot different of experience, because there's you're gonna be faced with a lot of things. Like first and foremost, when you come in, you have culture shock for sure. Um, and then second, in relation to culture shock, when it comes to start working for a company in a different country, they have different regulations and standards that you have to follow. So I would say it's pretty much on how to adapt. You should, like, as a person walking into a different country, you have to adapt yourself into their norms, instead of you bringing in your own norms and try to change everything. You have to learn how to accept and adapt to it. That's what I think it's what people should know about
Yeah,
living and moving to a different country, I think.
no, I agree. I agree. Well, so since we're in this topic, like back in the Philippines, I knew you as like a super chill dude who you can just, hang out with and, just go wherever. And I'm like you basically, but like, was there a shift in, your mindset or like your outlook in life once you went to Australia, once you're actually quote unquote alone in another country?
I would say it would be. I can totally still say that I walked in here was still the same,
Mm.
though. In an added mindset, I would say I was more matured, and towards my goal of like what I wanted to do here, like what I came here to do. I was more on focused on that, and at the same time, luckily, my sister was based here, so I moved in with my sister. So I did receive a little bit of help here and there. But at the same time, I was just telling myself, mate, like when I moved here, I was 25, and then I told myself, mate, just gotta mature up, like my sister moved here. She was the same age, and she was like my sister was alone the whole time. So
Yep.
like I told myself, if my sister can do it, I can do it. And technically, you know, try to lessen the distractions and just like focus on the goal and just having that sense of maturity on like on my perception and things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Would you say like once you're in not in your like comfort zone, is that the only time that you'll actually like mature and be serious about it?
Mm, I think I had a lot of like chances or opportunities to actually um be more mature on things. Like you know me, like back in the
Yeah,
day, like normally I would be like the guy of like every Saturday, yo Davi, what are you guys doing?
I
Yo
know.
Davi, what are you guys doing? Yo
I
Davi,
know.
look who I hooked up. And then but but then yeah, no, I had those opportunities and I just missed out. And I think that's a good advice for young people as well. Like if you feel like you're becoming or you're going out of your comfort zone to be more mature, take that opportunity because it helps out a lot. It helps out a lot. Even when you're just back at home back at home, you don't have plans of moving out. If you feel like you have a chance to actually go out of your box, let's say like move out from your parents. Back at home in the Philippines, in our culture, it's actually a big thing when you're moving out from your family.
Yeah,
If you feel like you can do it, have it, take the risk, just do it. It pays off in the future.
I
So
agree.
yeah.
I agree, man. I agree. So like it's 2021. What's your goal for this year?
Well, for me, 2021, because for me, looking back in 2020, it's been a crazy ride for everyone.
Yeah.
For me, back here in Melbourne, lost my job unfortunately in March, and I was sitting at home for like 2 to 3 months. Probably yeah, a good 3 months,
Hmm.
with no income coming in. Luckily, I had my girlfriend who was still working during that time, so I was just literally burning off my savings.
Yeah.
And so what I did was, during that year, I was, you know what, I don't want to sit around here. I couldn't find work. There was nothing out. We were on lockdown, and so I just told myself, how do I create a little bit of income here and there? I can't sell anything, so what I did, I was watching a lot of streamers, so I did a little bit of streaming on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I kind of like mixed both my passion and my potential at the same time,
Yeah.
and then receive a little bit of money here and there. So in regards to that, 2021, looking forward, I think my goal would just be to luckily in mid 2020, actually got this job that I've been working on. 2021, and I really like that industry. 2021, I just want to work on it,
Yep.
and at the same time, actually, I'm using my girlfriend's laptop because there's a reason I have been off air on my stream. You know how Macs are. So
Yeah.
my Mac's actually dead.
Oh gosh.
2013, rest in peace. Um, but yeah. If anyone can sponsor me a laptop, why not? But yeah, but yeah, 2021. I still want to work on my streaming page,
Yeah.
and I want to invest on that. Even if it's just part time, I want to work full time on my current work right now.
Yep.
Work on it, get the money from it. At the same time, make time for myself every day, or even in the weekends, just to actually just play and stream. I'm not in it. Actually, right now, I'm thinking in streaming. Right now, I am not in it for the money anymore. Like for me, it's more on creating the community.
Mm.
Until today, a couple of people are sending me a message through it and asking when am I gonna be streaming next?
Yeah.
And I kept telling them the same thing. Unfortunately, my laptop's dead, can't stream. So
Oh.
I'm trying to get a new laptop and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. But like, let me backtrack a bit because I just want to ask, like, what did you learn from that time where COVID happened and you suddenly got fired? Then you suddenly didn't have income for like 3 months or so? What's like the biggest learning from that experience?
For me, would be to get out of hospitality. I think that was one thing. That's just for me. It may not be
Yeah,
for everyone.
yeah.
But for me personally, it was time. It was time for me to get out of hospitality. Just I was like telling myself, I think this is the perfect time. I mean, I've been working in that industry for, let's say, 4 to 5 years almost.
Mm.
And then after that, I was just I think it's time. I couldn't handle, like, my body couldn't handle those type of stress, being at work, stress straight away, after work still being stressed, and then go to bed and then wake up stressed going to work.
Yep.
Um, so yes, I think that was that thing, and at the same time, that survival instinct of myself, of survivor instinct per se, of me, of like trying to find more ways, like really thinking out of the box. I was really outside of my comfort zone of and I just told myself, just do it, just do it. Like money will not come in first on streaming. What I did focused on what I learned from some of my few friends, just like you just gotta keep doing it, and then
Yes.
until people appreciated what I did, and then they supported me and stuff. But yeah, that's the main thing I learned. It was a great um time for me to actually like use my other skills and whole new skills into it, and fully transition away from the whole hospitality industry. So
That's
yeah, thank you
yeah, man.
2020.
It's just a year of realizations, man. Just
Yeah,
2020. That's what
I
it
would
brought.
say.
Dude, what I love about this podcast is I get to ask questions which I don't usually ask when we're just talking and when we're just chilling because it's
Hmm.
weird. But I just want to ask, dude, like, what's your definition of success? Like, what's the highest form of success to you?
Hmm. Actually, a good question. It's a tricky one. But what I would say right now, it would be my highest form of success is to be as similar to my dad, I would say, or yeah, or be half as the man of my dad. Because until today, my dad's still working, and what I really like, I look at him like the figure of success because he provides when help is needed. That's what I want to become in the future. To be able to like provide not just to my immediate family, but also like like my friends or people around me. And of course, material items or things would come with it. And but I don't really want to glare upon that. But yeah, just be able to like give help. And along with that, hopefully own something that I could just say that I own. Like a brand. Um, hopefully my streaming gig goes well. It doesn't. I don't have to be a streamer in the future, but at the same time, I'm thinking about of like being a moderator in the future, like helping other streamers who are meant to be streamers,
Yeah,
who are good in cameras.
dude, that's super powerful. I'll cut that clip about your dad and like send it to him.
Oh.
That's powerful, bro. That is powerful. Okay, man. Like, last question is no wait. Before the last question, if people want to get in touch with you or find you online, uh, where can they find you?
Yes, I'm currently streaming on Facebook temporarily. Facebook gaming. My handle is the Tribo. That's spelled with Tribeaux. It's like a French term for like a French e, like a funny term for the tribe in the
Yep.
so yeah, tribe or community for short.
Got it, man.
Oh yeah, find me over there.
Cool. So, last question, man, before we cut this off, is if you were to give one tip for somebody to be successful, what would it be?
I would say, which I actually personally went through, is learn to accept failure, and just make sure you get back from it. And because if you learn how to accept failure, you would have that grateful sense of gratefulness when you achieve something, which goes hand in hand in the actually I'll add another bonus tip, which is enjoy the little things. For me, success is not just the main big success goal. For me, I look at success like so let's say this is my goal and that's the success that I want to achieve. But the little steps to get there, I enjoy all those stuff. Those and I call them my little success. Of just like just having a job that leads toward to my bigger success. The mere fact that I've already made a little tiny step, it's a big success for me. I consider it a big success because once you enjoy those little things, failing you'll definitely enjoy failing because for you like if you had that sense of perspective on things when you start failing you'll just be like oh wow like this obstacle the next time I meet this obstacle I'm gonna nail it hard like I'm just gonna go for it and I'm just gonna like eat that thing like it's a buffet like so learn to accept failure.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Dude, thank you so much for stopping by. Uh, I've had the privilege of seeing your growth since I met you in college. You're so different, man. Like, now that you're in college, man, super proud with what you've achieved, and forever supporting you, bro. Thanks for being on the show.
All right. Thanks, man. Cheers. Happy New Year.
Cheers, man. And that's it, folks. That ends today's episode. If you want to watch a full video of this, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search chats about success. And to get more content behind the scenes, or if you want to be part of our community, follow us on Instagram at instagram.com/successchats. If you want to be a guest on a podcast or know anyone who might be interested in being a guest on the show, just send an email to chatsaboutsuccess@gmail.com. Until then, I hope you achieve your goals, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.